Switching to graphic. Alright, ready.
Okay.
Alright, everyone, we are live.
The call to order.
You heard that, right? Here at the City of Red Wing, we broadcast meetings held here in the City Council chambers live on Cable Access Channel 6 and simultaneously stream them live through our website. There is no legal requirement for the city to broadcast meetings at all, and no requirement to make video recordings of meetings. In fact, very few other cities of our size even come close to the level of broadcasting and accessibility that we perform for every meeting. So why do we do it? Why do we take a huge step above and beyond what the law requires? So that you can have the highest level of access to every meeting, and so that the work done here is as transparent as possible. Now that we've established the why of broadcasting meetings, let's take a look at the how of creating live television, because it really is a production, and an interesting one at that. Join us as we crack open the door to the broadcasting booth to give you insight on how live television is made right here at City Hall. As you can see, the broadcasting booth isn't big in square footage, but it's massive in terms of all the technology that's crammed in here. There are a dozen screens to monitor, 7 camera angles to switch between, and controls to over 20 microphones and speakers that may need adjusting. And all of that has to work together to bring these meetings to your screen. And most of the time, it's just one person handling it all. Before a meeting, the AV Tech, or AV Techs for City Council meetings, will come to this monitor to generate the appropriate graphics for the meeting, such as a title slide with the meeting's name. With the graphics set, we'll move on to the next step, WebEx. The WebEx meeting must be started in the booth so the booth operator can monitor it, and in the council chambers, so that online participants can see and be seen in the room. It's always started at least 20 minutes before the meeting time to give the public ample time to connect. If you simply want to watch the meeting but don't have a need to actively participate, that's where these 2 monitors come in. The left monitor runs the software that allows us to broadcast over Cable Channel 6. Just before the meeting starts, we'll start the recording for the meeting for rebroadcasting purposes, and then switch the feed from pre-recorded content to the live meeting. Something similar happens on this monitor, only this software controls the live stream to our website. This software will broadcast live and generate the recording you can access via our website within hours of the meeting's conclusion. During a meeting, this video is actively timestamped by the AV Tech so that when you watch the recording on demand, you can easily skip to specific agenda items. Timestamping isn't the only activity in the booth during the meeting. This monitor is a mirror of the computer in the council chambers, but what you usually don't see when seated in the audience is this bar. While each tab has a purpose, the primary tabs used on this screen during a meeting are presentation source and audio control. There's a lot more happening in the audio control portion of the menu. From here, the booth operator can control the sound levels for the computer audio in the chambers and the microphones at the podium, the microphones in front of everyone seated behind the dais, and extra wireless microphones if they're being used. They can also mute the audio being sent to the broadcast or WebEx before a meeting goes live or when a meeting enters closed session. Sound quality is monitored throughout the broadcast. If a speaker is hard to hear, or if the audio is too loud, the microphone volume will be increased or decreased accordingly. Now, this piece of equipment and its corresponding monitor are arguably the most fun piece of technology in the room. It's called the switcher. Why? Because we have 6 cameras mounted in the council chambers, and the switcher lets us jump between cameras and angles, so you get the best view of the action while you're watching at home. Timestamping, audio control, and camera management is enough to keep the booth operator busy during a meeting, but there's one crucial component. They have to constantly monitor that what the booth is broadcasting actually gets to your screen. These monitors help us see the video signal that we're sending out, but true monitoring happens on these 3 screens. This screen is used for monitoring the website live stream. Then up here, you can see the live feeds on Channel 6 through Charter and HBC. While there's a speaker that connects directly to the chamber's audio in the booth, we also check the volume on the TV periodically to make sure that at-home viewers can hear everything that's being said. If it all works smoothly, the meeting will be sent out live and recorded so we can put a copy of it on our website. That recording is available to you to watch on your own schedule, 24 hours a day. Just in case something goes wrong with the recording, though, we've got several backup methods running in the booth during our broadcast. There you have it. That's your look behind the door of our broadcasting booth. As you can see, it's a pretty complicated process with a lot of moving parts, and we've never even talked about the rack and all it contains and how we use it for broadcasting. But this has been enough for today. Let's just close this door. With this many moving parts to create a live broadcast, technology glitches will happen. When they do, trust that we're working behind the scenes to get your broadcast back up on your screen at home as fast as possible. While we're working, have a little patience. If you can't watch the meeting live, know that you can always watch it the next day on our website. Thanks for watching.